Hi everyone, so I'm going to show you how to make what's in your craft pack. The first thing I'm going to show you how to make is this giant crocodile. So we're going to go through him first because he will take a little bit of time and patience to make. So let me pop him down, and I'm just going to move the computer screen down so that you can see the table in front of me, because you'll need to see what I'm doing. So in your pack of various things, you've got a piece of A3 green card, and you've got a piece of A3 paper that has got these outlines on them. So these are the templates that you're going to use to make the tail, the head, and the paws of your crocodile. So the first thing you need to do, using a pair of scissors, is cut out each of these shapes. So I'm not going to do them all, but I will do one just to show you what you need to do. So I'm just cutting them to their separate sections. So there's the feet, and we can put those to one side. Then I cut the tail and the head separately. We'll show you what to do. So you can see the outline of the tail there, head there. It might be a little bit faint on your computer screens, but you'll definitely be able to see it on the sheet of paper that you have. And all you need to do is cut around the outline. So if you're confident with cutting, then get somebody to help you with this. Oh, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, if you're confident with cutting, give it a go. But if you're not, you might need a little bit of help. So ask somebody in your household who I'm sure will help cutting. So just follow those lines round all the way. Nearly done. Okay, so you can see that I've cut the shape out of this head. Now, what you're going to do with this is use it as your template. So if you put it onto your A3 piece of paper, now I'm fitting it this way, you need to make sure that you've got enough room to fit everything in. So let me just quickly check. So it's best to put the tail goes lengthways and the head goes lengthways as well. So just bear that in mind, because you need to make sure that you have got enough space on your paper to fit everything in. So what you might want to do, and probably what's a good idea to do, is cut out each of the templates, lay them all onto the paper, and then I'll show you what you do next. So I'm going to just use a pencil, and I'm going to draw around this template that I've cut out on the green card. So just very steady. You have to do it in pencil, do it in a pen or felt tip or whatever you have. You've got some felt tips in your pack, so if you want to use one of those, then please do. So I'm just tracing around the outline of the template onto the green paper. It doesn't matter if you get pencil marks on the white paper, it is just a template. So just make sure that when you lift your piece of paper off, you can see the outline of the head that I've cut out already. So, as I said before, I'll do that with each of these. So cut out the tail shape, lay it onto the paper, draw around it, and then do the same with the paws. You can cut around those, put them on the paper, and all of that should fit really neatly onto your A3 paper. So that's the first thing to do. So I'm not going to do it all now, because you get the idea. When you have finished all of that, you'll have a head shape like this, you'll have a tail shape, and you'll have 4 paws. So those are those. So once you've cut out your template, drawn around it onto the green paper, then cut your shapes out of the green paper, you'll end up with all these things which you need for your crocodile. So we've done that. So I'm going to put that to one side just for a couple of minutes while we do the body of the crocodile. So you'll also have in your pack, you should have 5 pieces of green paper, and you should have a red piece of paper and a white piece of paper. So we don't need those two at the minute, so I'm just going to put those to one side. It's these pieces you need. So you'll see that the crocodile has 4 tubes along his body. Now you'll see that, let me just put the screen up a little bit, you can see that the top 2 are the same size, and then the size reduces as we go down, so his body kind of gets narrower as we head towards his tail. So what we're going to do is we're going to make those tubes. Now this is a little bit tricky, or it's fiddly more tricky, so you might need a little bit of help. You might manage it, so give it a go. and see how you get on. So you've got some sellotape in your pack. Now I've already stuck my sellotape to the edge of my table because I'm a nightmare for trying to find the edge. So first thing you need to do is lay your piece of paper lengthways out in front of you, and you need to put some sellotape along that edge. So I'm going to lay that piece of sellotape over the edge, so it's half on that edge and half not on that edge. And then I've also got a bit of spare tape at the end of each side of the piece of paper, so that when we roll the piece of paper around, we can seal it up, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to lay that piece of tape half on, half off the piece of tape. So when I pick it up, you can see I've got this piece of tape there ready for me to stick down. So I'm going to roll this piece of paper over into a tube. So get the edges lined up, and then once you've done that, stick the edges of the tape down like so. So you end up with a tube. Now I'm just going to put a bit of extra tape on that one because actually didn't work that well. But we've got 4 to practice on, so get better as we go along. So the idea is you're going to end up with 4 tubes like this, and you just squeeze it into a tube shape. So there's tube number 1. So we'll do it again. So lay our piece of paper lengthways in front of us. Got some sellotape that we're going to put half on the edge, half over the edge. Press it down, lift it up, and then we're going to roll this piece of card into a tube and seal it over with the tape. See that? And pop the tape over the edges like so. It is a bit fitting, but you've got plenty of tape and there is no rush. So then what you've got is a second tube, and it doesn't matter if they're not all the same size and tube, it doesn't matter. What you're aiming to do is do 4 tubes, and then we'll see what we do next. We're going to do another one. By the time you've done the second one, you'll be an expert at doing this. So again, half on, half off, lift it up, roll piece of card over into a tube, seal it up, press that tape down the other side, pop the tape in the edges. Well, I've just lost my tape, and squeeze it so it makes a tube. There we go. So we've got 3 of those. Just going to stand it up so it fell off the edge of my table. And we're going to do 1 more. So again, lengthways. Really forgot to put the sellotape on there. And then I'm going to put that on the edge like so. Lift it up, roll it over, press that tape down, pop it through the edges. You see what I mean? By the end one, we're experts. So we've got 4 tubes there. So when you've done all 4 of those, that's what you should have. You should have tubes that look like that. So what we're going to do next, we've got another piece of card, and this is what we're going to lay tubes onto to give our crocodile a bit of extra support. So we're going to lay the tubes on in a row like this, but we're going to do one at a time because some of them are cutting, and this is a little bit fiddly because what we want to make sure is that they don't fall off. So I'm going to use a combination of glue and sellotape just to make sure that it's extra stuck. So I'm going to put some glue at the very end of that piece of card, like so. And I'm going to stick the first tube, so the edge of the tube is at the edge of the piece of card, if you can see that. Trying to make sure that it's there. And then you just need to kind of pop your fingers in the end and push it down, and then pick it up and make sure that that piece of card is stuck onto the thing. Now, while you've managed to turn it over and it's stayed like that, I think it's a really good idea to put an extra piece of tape so that the card is held. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just putting the piece of tape over that edge, and again popping it through the end of the tube and we make sure that that's super stuck. So when we turn it back over, yes, it's got glue on it, it's also got sellotape. So I'm going to put the next tube on. So again, I'm going to put some glue on. Get my next tube. I'm going to put it right next to the tube in front of it, so they're lined up nicely. Again, I'm going to turn it over like so, and I'm going to put another piece of sellotape, like I did before, across this tube now, to make sure that it's secured to the paper, and tuck it in the edges. So, just see that we're making it sure it is super secure, because we don't want it to fall. So then our next tube, now you'll notice when I showed you before that the tubes are reducing in size on the front. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our tube and we're just going to cut this slice off. It doesn't really matter how much you cut off it, to be fair, because your crocodile will be the size you want it to be. And you can see when I put that on, that's smaller than the other two. So I again put some glue on this. So pop that tube into the middle so it's evenly spaced. And we're going to just push it in at the edges just to secure the glue a little bit. We're going to turn it over and we're going to sellotape that across like so. What's the sellotape on this one? And then we've got one more tube to do. So again, we're going to make this tube smaller again. We're going to cut a bigger chunk off this time, just to off the whole tube at once. And again, you can see that when we put that on, we've got a nice set of circles that are tubes that are reducing in size. So put some more glue on, stick that tube in there like so, turn it over, put some tape on. Bit too much tape, so let me just cut a bit off there because it's a little bit too long. Got a bit excited then, and probably the same with the other end actually. That's probably too. So let's just chop a little bit off. There. So there we go. You can see that you've got the body of your crocodile. So you see that you've got this bit of card left off, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop that off. So I'm just going to cut it off. So there's our body of our crocodile. So the next thing we're going to do is use the cutouts that we did to give the crocodile a head and a tail and some legs. So let's start with the head. So that template that we cut out before, you're going to fold it in half, just like that, and crease down the edge of it. When you open it up, we're going to run a piece of sellotape along the edge, not along the edge, along the middle. Where we folded, we're going to put the tape along that folded bit. Then we're going to stick it, and I might struggle to do this upside down, but let's give it a go, along the front tube. So let me close it down a bit so you can see, along the front tube of your crocodile. So just make sure it's in the middle, and all we're going to do, the tape's not stuck to my fingers, is put the sellotape through the tubes again, like we did before. So the crocodile's mouth is stuck. Now you'll see that when you go to bend it down a bit, it stretches the tape. So you can just bend it a little bit less than the middle. So bend it just a little bit above the middle, and it will give you a bit more. So there we go. So that's the mouth stuff on that end. So what I'm saying is, if the mouth cause your sellotape to stretch, can fold it just a little bit above the crease that you originally put in, so that it lifts up a little bit like that. So all I've done is I've just put an extra little fold in. So I've got my folding in the middle, and then I'm just giving it a little fold at the top to make sure that it doesn't sink down. Then the tail, we're just going to put a little bend, fold in the top, like so. Then we're going to put some sellotape across it. So half on the tail and half not. And then we're going to still got into my sellotape's all stuck to itself. Now let me take that off and do that again. This is the problem with all this sellotape, it gets stuck to you. So let me try that again. So I'm going to put some tape across that, like so. And then when I turn it over, I'm going to stick it onto the end tube this time and put the sellotape into the ends of the tubes like I've done before. You'll see that the bend I put into the crocodile's tail means that the tail bends downwards. So if I'd have flipped it out the other way, the tail would have flipped backwards. But you can see that we put that bend in, and the tail disguises that bend, if you get what I mean. So try that before you stick it, because it confused me at first, but hang on. So then I put a little bend in his tail, just like that, to lift the edge of his tail up. So you can see that you've got your head, your tail, your prop. So next thing you need to do, your feet. Let's move them out of the way. So we can do all four of these at once, actually. It'll be a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. So a bit of tape on each of the end of the paws, like so. Tape. Then all we're going to do is on the first and the last tubes of our crocodiles, we're going to stick a paw in. So just going to stick that one in there, like so. Sellotape, and I'll try and get it a bit closer to the screen so you can see. So again, we are just sitting that paw at the very end of the tube and sticking the sellotape into the tube itself. And again, this side I'll try and do it so you can see. So put the paw in just inside the tube entrance, stick the tape down. And again with the last one, just inside the tube entrance, and just pop your finger in to put the tape down. This one is not quite done right, so let me just give that a bit of extra tape. So there we go. So you've got your paws on the crocodile now. So he's taking shape. It's looking good. So that's the kind of fiddlier bit over, if you like. See that we've got his shape and he's come together quite nicely. So let's put him to one side a minute while I just show you what to do the rest of the stuff. So the red piece of paper is to make your crocodile's tongue. So you can see that in this one, just put a tongue inside. Now the way I did that, if you're confident with cutting a tongue shape, that's fine, but sometimes I struggle with just cutting random shapes. So what I did was drew around, so my template's in half. So I drew around the folded template for his head. So just drew around it. Oh. And then I'm going to cut it out, but I'm going to cut inside that line. So I'm not going to cut on that line because I need his tongue to be smaller. I'm probably going to cut 1 centimetre in. So I'm still going to follow that shape. I'm going to cut 1 centimetre in so that I kind of have an idea of how big his tongue should be. So let's see. So there we go. So that worked quite well. So all you're going to do with that is get some glue, put loads of it on your tongue, and then stick it in. So that gives our crocodile a nice red. So the teeth, we're just going to cut random triangles. So the way I did this, I folded my piece of white paper in half so that I could cut 2 sets of teeth at once. And that works quite well. So I've got 2 pieces there. I thought that was a bit thick, so let me take one out. So I just folded my piece of paper in half lengthways and then started to cut triangles. It doesn't really matter if your triangles aren't all the same size, because the crocodile's teeth will be all different sizes, just like ours are, as we work our way around our mouth. So I'm cutting lots of triangles out for the crocodile's sharp teeth. I'm just folding my paper. It means I'm getting 2 sets of teeth at once. So all you're going to do when you've done those is glue them around the edge of your, those two are a bit of a funny shape. Glue them around the edge of your mouth, on the edge like so. So just glue the crocodile teeth, however you want to do it, and mouth at the bottom, and then you do exactly the same at the top, so that you can see that when you close your mouth, you've got all these sharp teeth. So that is just triangles cut in different shapes. Glue a set around the bottom and a set around the top. I'm not going to do all of that because you see how I've done that. And let's bring this one back, and you can see that we've just done the teeth top and bottom, however we felt we wanted to. Now, when you open this back up, you'll have enough space to use your glue lid as a template to draw around to cut out circles for your crocodile's eyes. If you want bigger circles, then you can find something maybe like a 10p piece to draw around, but you can also draw around the lid to stick some eyes on. So once you've done all of that, you've stuck your teeth on, you've stuck your eyes on, you can see that we've used a black felt tip pen to give our crocodile some nostrils and some scales on his tail and on his body and his feet. So the other thing you've got in your pack as well is some tissue paper. You've got 3 different kinds of tissue paper. So what we've done with that, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to cover your tissue paper, you don't, but it's good to kind of give him a scaled effect. You just need to rip off some pieces of tissue paper, like so. Pop a bit of glue back of it, and then stick it onto your crocodile so that you can see stuck all these different pieces of tissue paper over him. So you've got 3 different colours. You've got a light blue, a dark blue, and a green, and we've just literally torn strips off and just stuck it all over a crocodile, and then we've added some scales in a tip pen. So you can be as creative as you want with that. You can stick on scales. You don't have to. If you want to decorate your crocodile in a different way, you can, but that's how you make your crocodile. So hopefully you've managed to follow my instructions, and we know it's taking a bit of time, but that's good because sometimes it's good to work on projects that require a bit more time and a bit more patience. Gets us to practice our cutting and our gluing skills as well. So there's your crocodile. So I'm going to put the crocodile to one side now that he's done. So we'll just move him out of the way, otherwise we've got no space to do anything. Show you how to work the rest of the stuff. So what you've also got in your pack are some dinosaur shapes. So I think you've got 5, all these different dinosaur shapes. Now you can use these to make some dinosaur puppets. You can use them as puppets for a puppet show, or actually if you've got inside plants in your house, you can use the lolly stick to stick them into your plant pot, and actually they might look really effective around your house and stuck in some of your plant pots. So all we've done is we've used felt tips and gems to decorate the dinosaurs in whatever colours we've wanted to do. So you can see that these are quite detailed dinosaurs. You can colour them in as you like. You can use what colours you like. So you've got 5 of those to colour in. You've got some gems in your pack to decorate them as well if you want to stick some gems on. And if you've got anything else around at home to stick on them, you can. So you've got 5 great dinosaur shapes to use as puppets or plant pot sticks or whatever you choose to do with those dinosaurs. So just to show you quickly, once you've coloured them in, let's get these out of the way, stick space. You've got some lolly sticks in your pack, and you've also got your sellotape. So all you're doing is sticking your lolly stick onto the back of your dinosaur, a little bit of tape to make him secure, so that if you want to stick him in a plant pot or you want to use him as a puppet, you've got a stick to hold him in. So those are your dinosaurs. Also in your pack, you've got a superhero mask. Now, you haven't got all 5 of these, you've got 2. You've got a different, each pack has got 2 different masks in. And so these are superhero masks. And there's Iron Man, there's Batman, there's Captain America, there's Spider-Man, and there's the Hulk. So you've got 2 masks in your pack to design however you want to do. You don't have to follow traditional mask colours. You can colour them in however you choose to and decorate them however you choose to. You can actually use them to make your own new superheroes if you want, just templates for you to use. So you've got those, and you've got some felt tips in your pack to colour them in with, and you've also got 2 pieces of elastic in your pack to make these into masks. So when you've coloured them in, and you'll need some help with this, you need to get them measured onto your face so that you can show where your eyes are. So the idea being, if I just quickly show you with mine, you want to make sure that the eye holes meet your eye holes. So while you're holding that in front of your face, get somebody to mark 2 little marks either side of your mask, so that, like this. I haven't got anyone to do it here for me, so I'm having to do it myself, but somebody in your house will be able to help me. So if you make 2 little dots, all you need to do using scissors or a sharp pencil is make a little hole there and a little hole there. If you tie your elastic into that hole. So let me just do that one quickly. So I'm going to do this, and I'm being really, really careful. Do this onto the surface. Get a grown up to do this for you. Is that I was using really gentle force with the scissors there, no force because I didn't want to cut myself, just a really gentle turn on a piece of paper with the scissors. And you're literally just going to put your elastic through like so. And then if you tie it around to the other side, is that you'll be able to wear your mask. And you've got 2 pieces of elastic, 2 masks, so you can make 2 masks to wear. So those are your masks. So let's move those out of the way. So finally comes the paper planes. Now these have been coloured in to look like really detailed rockets and planes. Well, we're going to show you how to make the shape of the plane, and then you can design and colour it and add whatever decorations you want to it. So we're going to make 2 types of plane. We've got this really kind of narrow, long-nosed one, and then we've got this shorter one with the wider wings. So let's do this one first. We've got 2 designs of this one. So you've got various pieces of paper in your pack. You've got some coloured and some white. So it's up to you to choose to design, you know, what paper you do your designs in. So let me show you. So first thing you're going to do is lay your paper on a flat surface. It's good if you've got a flat surface in front of you because you need to make some creases paper, and it always helps. So you're going to fold your paper in half lengthways. So let's do that. And so we just want the 2 edges to meet. And if we get them as close as possible, it's good when you're making planes to get it as accurate as you can. So then we're going to crease that piece just like that. Always pick it up and run my nails down it. So your piece of paper is folded in half. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this top corner and bring it down to the bottom so that these 2 edges meet. So it's flat edge against flat edge, just like that. So you can see that what I've done is I've taken that point down to the end, and it means that the 2 flat edges have met. And it's in there. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do exactly the same. So this point here needs to move over, meet the bottom of the piece of paper, like so. So again, I've taken that point over to there. So at the moment, our piece of paper looks like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this point and bend it over so that this flat part of the paper is that straight edge. So straight edge to straight edge, just like so. And again, gonna give it a really good strong crease, turn it over, and we're doing it again. This point, gonna pull it over so that this straight edge is the bottom straight edge. So basically folding straight edges to straight edges. Now I'm trying to keep that point really neat because that helps our plane fly. So let's push that down again. So So at the moment, our plane looks like that on both sides. So it's just one more fold each. So we're going to fold this. So I want this edge, this straight edge, to meet that straight edge. So I'm literally just folding it over. It's a really short fold, like so. Don't worry if you get a little overlap, so I've got a little overlap. It's fine. So we're taking that straight edge to meet the other straight edge, turn it over, and we're taking this edge, this long edge, to meet this bottom edge of the plane. So again, trying to keep that point as flat as possible. That really helps. And make sure we flatten it down, and there we go. We've got your plane. So if you turn it over, this is the bit you hold to fly it. And actually, if you want to, once you've designed your plane and you've put your design on it, if you'd like to put a little bit of tape over that bit to hold the plane in place, then you can. So don't be afraid to do that if you want to hold that middle bit together to stop it coming apart. But that's your plane. So a couple of easy folds, mostly edges to edges. There's your paper. So that's be coloured in your own design. Now you can see that that plane's a little bit smaller. So if you want to make it a little bit smaller, all you need to do, depending on how small you want to make it, you could fold your piece of paper in half and tear it in half or cut it. It's up to you. And you can use half a piece of paper to make your plane. So you can make your plane as full as an A4 sheet of paper, you can make it A5, or even actually, if you just want to cut a piece off your paper across there to make it shorter still. So you can experiment, you've got lots of paper, you can experiment with what different sizes you want to make your paper plane, that's absolutely fine. So then I'm going to show you how to make this one. And this is a little bit different, but okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this plane next. So this is a bit of a different fold. So we're going to fold this paper like so. Anywhere, I haven't measured that, I've just taken a fold in so you can see that how big that piece of paper is now. So I've just put a fold in. And then we're going to turn it around and we're going to fold it in half like so. I'm going to make sure that that crease is nice and sharp. So then we're going to open it up and we're going to work with this loose edge on the facing up side of the paper. What we're going to do is we are going to take that corner into the middle. So and we're going to turn it around and we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to take that bottom corner up into the middle. So then we're going to turn the plane over. You can see that we've already put that middle fold in. Now we're going to fold it up along that fold, so the top of each side meets the top of the other side, if that makes sense. So we're going to refold that centre line like so. Then we're going to take this corner down to the bottom, like so. We're going to turn it over, and we're taking this corner here down to the bottom, like so. And there we go. There you have your plane that looks just like that. So again, you've got different pieces of paper, so you can make whatever colour you like. And again, if you want to, after you've made your plane, just kind of fold that in and make that a bit neater and sellotape, then you can. Because then what it does is when you're throwing your plane to fly it, then you can see that that bit will stay neatly together and won't unfold. So you've got two different types of plane to make. You've got the long nose one, which we've shown you how to make, and the shorter squatter one that we showed you how to make as well. So that's all of your craft pack. So you've had your crocodile to make. Let's just get him back so we can show you. So you cut out your A3 template to show all the different shapes, and then you drew around them on your A3 green piece of paper, cut them out. And then you made 4 rolls, and you stuck them to a piece of paper at the bottom. And then you made his head and his tail and stuck all his paws on. Then cut a red piece of paper for his tongue, and you cut some white triangles of paper for his teeth. And then if you wanted to, stuck on some eyes and coloured in some nostrils and covered him in different colours tissue paper scraps using your glue stick. So there's your crocodile. We then had your dinosaur puppets. So you had some blank shaped dinosaurs to colour in. You were colouring them in to make different coloured, stuck together, different coloured dinosaur shapes. Which you can use as puppets or to stick into plant pots or whatever you want to do those. Then you had your superhero masks. Remember that you had 2 in your pack, 2 out of the different ones, and you're able to colour them in any shape, size, colour, whatever you want to do to those. And then we've got some elastic for you to be really careful and ask for some grown-up help to put some small slits in each side of your mask so that you can thread your elastic through and you can wear it. And then finally, you had your 8 paper airplanes. You might need to watch how I folded those a few times to make sure you get the fold. But once you've done 1 or 2, you'll be really confident and be able to fold them without even thinking about it. So you can have lots of fun making different paper planes and maybe have some paper plane races out in the garden over the half term. So we really hope that you enjoy making a craft pack, and if you'd like to share some photos with us, we're always really pleased to see those, so you can upload them to our Facebook page. So we hope you have fun with it, and we're really looking forward to hopefully being back for the summer holidays so that you can come and visit the playground, and we can't wait to see you again. So take care. Thank you.